everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So last week we talked about the stress checks in Japan, which are pretty new and focus a lot on mental health in both the workplace and in your personal life. So today I wanted to cover something that's a little more common and that most people should know about, but workplaces in Japan offer health checks, like actual health checks. So I kind of wanted to go over the questionnaire that you have to fill out for that, and also talk a bit about my experiences with the health check, because it was very different from what you would expect in America. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, I did not go to Starbucks again, I'm sorry. Instead, I found some chocolate that I'm going to try for you right now. This brand of chocolate is really popular, and I've seen them quite often for holidays, I guess you could say. They're pretty common to see, like, with seasonal flavors around holidays. Since it's Valentine's Day, that's going to be strawberry. It's going to be. I am interested to see if these are any good. They're the strawberry tart chocolates. So the packaging looks like this. My camera isn't going to focus on it. It never does. They're really cute. The back of the packaging, I know you can't see it, but it has two cute little strawberries. And then the chocolate itself is adorably pink. Look at that. It's just this adorable little pink chocolate. The inside is really crumbly. It's a lot like the crust of a tart. And then the chocolate around it is strawberry flavored. It looks like there might be some strawberry bits in there. This is incredible because all of the flavors that I've tried from them, apart from their like pumpkin and toffee ones, weren't very good. I didn't really like them. So they've up to this point been kind of a disappointment. But this is delicious, and I'm very happy to have found it. I know that's not as exciting of like a flavor trying thing as we're used to. Starbucks just isn't going to have the other seasonal flavor for Valentine's Day, unfortunately, but at least we got to try one. And again, just like last time, I come bearing papers to help me sort of navigate through the health check fiasco, because that's what it felt like. I did ask one of my friends about it, and they said that this year's health check seemed a good bit different from last year's and what they're used to previously. So maybe they just changed and I got it on a bad year. I'm not sure. But I'm going to talk to you about how I felt during my health check, what happened during the health check, how it differs from America, and also just give you some basic information about the questions that you had to answer. So first and foremost, just like the stress check, it is technically voluntary. You do not have to do this. However, it is free, so that's a really big bonus. I want to talk to you about the questions. So they have like a special medical question portion to this exam, and you do not have to complete it if you are not between the ages of 40 and 74. So if you are between those ages, you will need to fill it out. That being said, medical staff will kind of try to push you to answer those questions and to go through those routines, even if you've like told them multiple times you don't want to do that. So this is a section where if you're a woman, they like start measuring your waist and asking you super invasive questions that feel super invasive because they are not routine for America. I was pretty adamant about the fact that I will not be answering these questions, and you cannot measure my waist. It is not a requirement of me, but Japan just doesn't understand that there's a pretty significant cultural difference, and just because you try to force someone to do something doesn't mean that they absolutely have to. And I really wish more people understood that you can just tell them no, and they have to agree. So the other section, so you have this special medical check portion. So that covers things like special illnesses and also significant weight gain or loss of appetite, your eating habits, how well you sleep, and your exercise. The other section of this is your family medical history and your personal history, so just things that you would expect to answer whenever you go to a doctor's office, like your family medical history. Does anyone in your family have diabetes, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, anemia, liver disease, just the things that you would be used to answering. And then there are some other things that you're expected to do, like they take a urine sample and give you tests for that. So for the next portion of this, I kind of want to talk about what to expect when you do a health check at your school. So it's at your school, it's in your nurse's office, and a giant team of people come in and set up, and they take your weight, they do an eye exam, they do a hearing test, they will take your waist measurements if you're a woman. A doctor will do a brief health check and ask you some questions. And finally, in your nurse's room, they will draw your blood. And then after you're done in the nurse's office, they move you outside because 2 vans come to the school, and those vans are, one is for x-rays and the other is for an echocardiogram. So you do both of those outside, and then you can go back to work. And this all happens in a really short time period. If you are unable to do your health check at your school for whatever reason, they will send you to another school on a different day for you to do your health check there. Some things to note. The health check is something that happens with everyone in the room, including your other teachers. It's not a personal experience here for whatever reason. I found that really uncomfortable to try to go through a literal health exam, but also be in a room with 10 other teachers at the same time. It was very uncomfortable. If that's something that you feel would make you incapable of handling the rest of your day, I would say maybe tell them you don't want to do the medical check, because it is very invasive and it's basically just like airing your dirty laundry in front of all of your teachers. There's no privacy, and that's really important for you to know. There is no privacy. The only time I had any privacy when doing my exam was when the doctor did his brief check. That's because you enter the room and then they close the curtain, and it's basically just where the beds are in the nurse's office, and they close the curtain to that, so everyone can still hear what's happening on the inside. Health information for Americans is an incredibly private thing, and in a lot of cases it is still private in Japan. Like, I don't go to the doctor's office and have my health checked in the waiting room. Like, I go into a room and talk to the doctor alone, and that's that. So I just feel like there needs to be some more sensitivity in regards to the health checks, especially whenever you were working with foreigners. When I was having my blood drawn, I asked to have my blood drawn not in the very middle of the room. I already don't like having my blood drawn, so it was just as a way to calm me down. And as I was sitting there and the lady was trying to draw my blood, the doctor that had given me my check literally walked over to stare into the room as if that had anything to do with him. And I thought that that was just really unprofessional. And on top of that, there was no real communication. It's like what they saw was a foreigner and not person to try to communicate with. So there were some more sensitive experiences where if you need to be, please be firm about what you are or are not comfortable with. And if someone is trying to do something to you that is outside of your range or just doesn't align with how you expect to be treated, then just don't do it, end it, and move on, because you are a person. And I think that a lot of the time, especially whenever people are dealing with literally thousands of teachers every single day and trying to get in and out of their job, they just lack communication ability, and that can result in some pretty severe misunderstandings. So if you are looking to work in Japan and you come into contact with a health check, if you work on JET your first year, you won't have to do the health check at your school. It will be offered from the second year. Basically, just be aware that you have a right to say no to anything, and that is absolutely within your right. And there will be a lot of people telling you, it's just a cultural difference, this is how we do things. In a lot of circumstances, it's easy to be like, oh, this is a cultural difference. But whenever you come from somewhere that your body is your own and not at the whims of whatever doctor walks by, you'll be better off just telling them no. So if you have any questions, I know this is sort of all over the place, please let me know in the comments down below. I will happily answer any questions that you might have about working in Japan, the process for health checks, even stress checks, even though that was in the last video, and just any general questions you might have. Please put them in the comments down below and I will answer as many as possible. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!